Your person wants you to know, more than anything, that they have changed. They are no longer the same person who once dismissed your love, ignored your efforts, and failed to appreciate the value of what you were giving them. Their heart aches without you, and it is this emptiness that has awakened them to the reality of how deeply you touched their life. They now recognize that your love was pure, consistent, and unconditional, while they, blinded by fear and insecurity, let it slip through their fingers. The guilt they feel weighs heavily on their heart. They cannot forgive themselves for taking your devotion for granted and for hurting you when all you wanted was to love them sincerely. Part of the truth is that your person was deeply intimidated by your energy. You radiate strength, confidence, and a kind of royal presence that made them feel unworthy. They struggled with feelings of inadequacy, always convinced that they could never truly measure up to what you deserved. In their mind, there was always the haunting thought that you would one day realize your worth and choose someone better. This fear created distance. Instead of stepping forward into vulnerability, instead of opening their heart fully to you, they held themselves back, protecting themselves from a pain they thought was inevitable. Ironically, in doing so, they created the very pain they were so afraid of experiencing, the pain of losing you. For a long time, you poured your energy into the relationship. You gave your love wholeheartedly, offering your affection, your support, and your complete attention. You made it clear, both in words and actions, that you wanted to build something meaningful. But instead of cherishing your gift, they pushed it away, lost in their own insecurities. Eventually, you grew tired of waiting for them to see your worth. You made the brave decision to focus on yourself. You stopped chasing after them, stopped begging for the love you deserved, and instead poured that love into your own healing and happiness. That choice has shaken your person more than anything else ever could. They now find themselves watching you from a distance, unable to look away. Whether through social media, mutual connections, or simply in spirit, they are keeping track of you because they cannot bear the thought of being completely cut out of your life. To them, it feels like a punishment far greater than anger or confrontation. What shocks them most is how gracefully you walked away. You did not scream, you did not beg, and you did not cling. You simply released them with dignity, showing no resentment, no bitterness, and no signs of hatred. That silent strength has left them in awe of you. It has shown them the depth of your power, the ability to let go with peace rather than rage. Now, your person is realizing the full scope of what they lost. They understand that they cannot find you in anyone else. No matter where they go or who they meet, they are constantly reminded of you. The love you gave was not ordinary, it was transformative. You taught them what love truly means. You taught them patience, compassion, and spirituality. Through you, they learned humility, because your energy not only elevated them but also exposed the parts of themselves that needed healing. You were both a mirror and a guide, and even in your absence, your lessons linger. Your person is now determined to do everything in their power to win you back. They no longer want to hold back their emotions or hide behind fear. They want to show you that they are willing to take risks, to step into vulnerability, and to prove their love through action rather than empty promises. They want to demonstrate that they are no longer intimidated by your light but inspired by it. They want to rise to meet you, not shrink away from your brilliance. Yet, beneath their determination lies a deep sorrow. They know they cannot undo the past. They cannot erase the times they hurt you, ignored you, or dismissed the love you so freely offered. All they can do now is hope that you will allow them the chance to make amends. They want to rebuild what was broken, to show you that they are capable of honoring and cherishing you the way you always deserved. The truth is, your absence has humbled them in ways they never expected. They realize that love is not about possession or control, it is about appreciation, balance, and reciprocity. They see now that you were never asking for too much, you were simply asking for the bare minimum of love and respect. And while they failed to give you that in the past, they are prepared to give it now with every ounce of sincerity they possess. Your person feels as though they are living in a world where nothing can replace you. The emptiness they feel without you has proven that no distraction, no substitute, and no other connection can fill the void you left behind. You are unforgettable to them. You are irreplaceable. You are the one who awakened their heart, stirred their spirit, and taught them lessons they will carry for the rest of their life. And now, all they want is one more chance, not to rewrite the past, but to create a future where they can finally meet you at the level of love you always offered. My love. Ever since the day our paths crossed, my world has never been the same. From that very first moment, you became a presence that filled my mind and heart in ways I never knew were possible. It feels as though my spirit recognized you instantly, as if I had been waiting for you my entire life without realizing it. Now, all I seem to do is daydream about us, about the life we could live together, the moments we could share, the adventures that are waiting for us. There isn't a day that goes by where I don't imagine what it feels like to hold your hand, to hear your laughter, to simply exist beside you in peace and joy. I need you to know something deeply important: never, for even a second, doubt yourself. You are perfect to me, not only in your beauty, which is radiant beyond words, but in the essence of who you are. The way you care, the way you love, the way your presence alone can calm storms within me, these are treasures no one else could ever replace. My love for you burns like an eternal flame deep within my soul. It isn't something that can fade or be destroyed by time or distance. What we share is more than connection, it's destiny, it's fate, it's a bond written in the fabric of the universe. I have come to recognize something undeniable: you are my soulmate. That truth echoes inside me every single day. Yet, I also know there are obligations in my life, karmic lessons I must finish, responsibilities I must carry out, before I can truly and fully come back to you. It isn't fair to bring you into a storm I created, nor is it fair to let chaos touch the purity of what we share. You deserve the best of me, not the broken or incomplete pieces. That is why I am making changes, why I am working so hard to become a better version of myself. It is not just for me, it is for you, for us, so that when the time comes, we can step into love without barriers or fears weighing us down. When I walked away, I thought I could adjust, that I could learn to live without you nearby. But the truth is, my love, I was wrong. I told myself I would adapt, that I would grow numb to the ache of your absence, but instead I feel emptier than ever. My heart carries a void that nothing and no one else can fill. Life without you feels incomplete, like a story with missing chapters or a song cut short. Every day I long for your presence, for the comfort of knowing you're near. Since we separated, one of my greatest fears has been the thought of you moving on. It terrifies me to imagine you finding someone else, or that you might decide you no longer want me. That fear gnaws at me, but I cannot blame you for whatever choices you make, because you deserve happiness above all else, even if it means it isn't with me. Still, in my heart, I believe what we share is rare, something that can't be replaced or forgotten. That belief is what gives me strength to keep pushing forward, to keep changing and growing until I am worthy of standing beside you again. I wish you could see inside my heart for just one moment. You would see how deeply I love you, how badly I long to hear your voice, how much I crave even the smallest sign from you. I want to know how you feel about me now, in this present moment. Do you still think of me? Do you still feel that bond that I carry so strongly every day? I ache for your words, for your reassurance, for the comfort of knowing that somewhere inside you, the flame of us still burns. You are not just someone I love, you are my anchor, my compass, my guiding light. You inspire me to grow, to heal, to become someone better. You are the reason I am choosing to walk through the pain instead of running from it. You are the dream I refuse to give up on, no matter how much time passes or how many obstacles appear in our path. Please understand that everything I do now is driven by love, by the desire to create a life where you never again have to worry about instability, where you never again feel like you are stepping into chaos. I want our love to be surrounded by peace, safety, and joy. I want to be the person who protects your heart, who gives you the space to flourish, who celebrates the beauty of who you are without hesitation. I know I've made mistakes. I know I've caused pain by stepping away. But I did it not out of lack of love, but out of the deepest love, because I didn't want to pull you into a storm you didn't deserve. If I could go back, I would hold you tighter, I would choose differently, but all I can do now is move forward with determination to make things right. My love, my soulmate, please don't forget that no matter how far apart we may seem, I carry you with me in every breath, in every thought, in every heartbeat. I am yours, always have been, always will be. And when the time is right, I will find my way back to you, not as the broken version you once knew, but as the partner you truly deserve. Until then, please remember, you are loved beyond measure. You are cherished beyond words. And you are the reason my soul keeps burning with hope. When two souls align at the right time, a profound transformation begins to unfold. Nothing in the universe seems capable of stopping the awakening that takes place when this kind of union occurs. It is more than just meeting someone who understands you, it feels like the opening of a doorway to a higher dimension of love and awareness. This alignment sparks what many describe as the strongest spiritual awakening of their lives, an experience that shakes the very foundation of who you believed yourself to be. Suddenly, the world feels different, clearer, lighter, and more purposeful, because you are no longer walking through it alone. You are walking it with a soul who mirrors you, reflects you, and challenges you to grow in ways you never thought possible. As this awakening deepens, so too does the desire and longing for one another. It is not merely physical attraction, though that exists strongly, but something far more consuming, a pull that seems to come from the very essence of your being. You find yourselves drawn irresistibly toward each other, not out of neediness, but because your souls recognize the growth and transformation that occurs when you are together. It becomes impossible to deny that this connection is not ordinary. On a soul level, you begin to understand that separation is an illusion, for you do not feel like two distinct individuals anymore. Instead, you feel as though you are parts of the same whole, woven together in a way that cannot be undone. This realization brings a sense of certainty unlike anything you have ever felt before. In the past, you may have questioned relationships, doubted emotions, or wondered if love was truly real. But with this person, your counterpart, there is no room for doubt. The certainty is absolute, not because of external reassurance, but because the bond is deeply spiritual. It is as though your souls have been connected long before this lifetime, and now that connection is surfacing in a way you can no longer ignore. You find yourself sure of their place in your life in a way that logic cannot explain. It is not about the mind, it is about the heart and the soul whispering the truth you already know. However, as powerful as this union is, it is not without challenges. In fact, the intensity of the connection often brings complications. Fears may rise, insecurities may surface, and old wounds may demand to be healed. There are times when you might be tempted to ignore the signs, to dismiss the synchronicities, or to walk away because it all feels too overwhelming. Yet deep down, your intuition continues to remind you of what is real. No matter how much confusion or fear clouds the path, a quiet inner knowing always tells you that this is the person you are destined to be with. That intuition becomes your compass, guiding you back even when circumstances make the journey difficult. There are moments when both of you long to reach out, to call or send a message, just to feel the reassurance of each other's presence. But often, you hold yourselves back. The reason is not a lack of love or interest but rather the recognition that there are still hurdles to overcome. There may be lessons you each need to learn individually, healing that must occur, or personal growth that needs to take place before the union can fully stabilize. The journey is as much about becoming whole within yourself as it is about merging with another. This is why twin flame connections, in particular, can be so complex yet profoundly transformative. The longing does not fade with time, in fact, it often grows stronger. Every separation feels like a test, pushing you toward greater strength, patience, and trust. Each challenge forces you to confront your own shadows, heal your deepest wounds, and release patterns that no longer serve your highest good. In this way, the connection becomes a sacred teacher. It is not just about romance or companionship, it is about evolution. Your partner is both your mirror and your catalyst, showing you where love flows freely and where healing is still required. Through this process, you begin to understand that the ultimate purpose of the connection is not only union with one another but union with your higher self. Yet despite the hurdles, the certainty remains unshaken. Even in moments of silence, even when doubts creep in, the bond speaks louder than fear. You begin to realize that no external circumstance can sever what exists on a soul level. This awareness brings both comfort and challenge. It comforts you because you know love is eternal, but it challenges you because it requires patience, faith, and surrender to divine timing. You cannot force the journey, you can only allow it to unfold. Those who resonate with this message are often experiencing the path of twin flames. Unlike ordinary relationships, twin flame connections carry an intensity and spiritual depth that is hard to put into words. They are not always smooth, and they are rarely simple, but they are undeniably transformative. To meet your twin flame is to encounter yourself in another form, to be reminded of your divine essence, and to be pushed toward becoming the fullest version of who you are. It is a journey of love, growth, and awakening, sometimes painful, often confusing, but always sacred. When you step back and see the bigger picture, you begin to appreciate the beauty of the process. The longing, the hurdles, the challenges, and even the moments of silence are all part of a divine plan meant to help you grow. It is not a punishment but a preparation, ensuring that when the time comes for full union, you are both ready, healed, whole, and aligned with your true purpose. Until then, the connection continues to guide you, teach you, and remind you of the love that transcends lifetimes. In the end, the journey with your twin flame is about far more than just being together. It is about awakening to the truth of who you are, remembering the eternal bond you share, and allowing love to transform you from the inside out. The certainty, the longing, and the intuition are all signposts on this sacred path, leading you back not only to your counterpart but also to your own soul.